ich bin's wieder, Jahren, hier mit meinem Let's Play von Ace Attorney Investigations Prosecutor's Path. Und ja, jetzt steht halt die Frage, ist Roland nun echt die Mörderin? Wir gehen davon aus, ja, sie hat's getan. Sollen wir weiter vorangehen? Ja, sonst geht die Wahrheit weg, wie Edgeworth so schön sagen würde. Sonst würde die Wahrheit verloren gehen. Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either. You mean to badger this woman further? Even if she was threatened by Dogen. This does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body. Do you have any evidence to support this? The body gave off a sweet scent. The scent of perfume that was used to signify a delivery. Can you explain this fact? Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent was lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it. Mr. Albert also testified to this fact. That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent. I don't know what it was. It smelled sweet, like candy. The lingering scent in the well wall would, of course, be picked up by anything passing through. The defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do? What should I do? Is this as far as I can go? Is it over already? Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned. Okay, wer schreit hold it? Wer soll halten? Who was that? It's not nice of you to adjourn things just like that, Courtney Pye. Mr. Shields! Are you objecting to the court adjourning? Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields? Whoa there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate? Is this a joke? You'll have to excuse me. I just have no tiny requests to make. As Simon Key's attorney. That's right. You're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you? Exactly. Did you all forget? That's so mean. But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all. Yes, that's right. That's why I thought I'd do my job a bit. Okay, jetzt geht's aber los. Do your job? That hardly sounds like you at all. And so prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions. Surely a jest. What more would you expect to hear from her? Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit. My thoughts? Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out. Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shields up to? He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. Why was the supply route used to transport the body? I'd say it was to pin the crime on Dogen. Ah, I see! If he committed a murder here, he would be transferred to another prison. One with tighter security. And that would get rid of the troublemaker! Das wäre echt eine gute Idee. Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that. Hey, hold on a sec. A culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to prosecute. Exactly. So wouldn't it be better if the best also listened to what she has to say? Amazing, Mr. Shields! You managed to drag Mr. the Best into this too! Warden Roland, is this acceptable? Oh, you. It's fine, it's fine. You understand the woman's heart. So thank you, mademoiselle. Actually, I've thought it's over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you, Judge Justine, darling? Of course, you may speak. Mr. Shields, awesome! Phew, that was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. No, I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said? A defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on our shoulders, after all. I'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you never give up. Right. Well then, will you listen to my story? Natürlich. Dann lass mal hören, was du zu sagen hast. Mit deinen schokobraunen Augen. I believe that the culprit in this case could only have been Dogen. I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. It simply could have been that Dogen was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of the body. This is the truth of the case. The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it is a truly terrible thing. Taking a man's life, you mean? That's how you go about saying it, isn't it? If only I had been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets. Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude. Ich glaube, da wird sie sich im Grab umdrehen. Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? Ich glaub nicht. Dann wollen wir mal. Entkräftung! My story. Natürlich will sie jetzt alles auf Dogen schieben. Nur er kann's gewesen sein. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder. Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I learned that the victim had some kind of injury up to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that. Booking? That's the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center. It sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley. I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for Dogen. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. The victim wouldn't even have had a chance to scream. I see. Your opinion will be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony? Oh, you're making me blush. You're so cute. Danke! I'm just kidding. I'll continue. Danke. Danke, Frau. Perhaps you used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. Okay. Und woher hat sie das gewusst? Warden Roland, you certainly are sharp-witted. Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Patty. P-A-T-T-Y. However, that's something you were a little too knowledgeable about. Embarrassed. You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth, dear. Auf! Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth! You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard? Of course, the entrance check. Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check? The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keyes. He didn't even have it when he arrived here. That's my mistake. I meant the puzzle check. Even if we assume that, there were still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated? Ah! Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to this chessboard? I did not. Ha! If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or parcel check. Certainly. Someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by. Exactly. So, answer this, Warden Roland. When and how did you learn about the chessboard's secret? In that case, I shall answer for you. It is because... I give up, Edgeworth dear. It is as you say. I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about the chessboard. But please believe me, I didn't kill anyone. Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's all right with you, Mr. Edgeworth. No objections here. Thank you, Edgeworth dear. I'll do my best. Ja, solange du bitte nur deine Stola knust und nicht mich. Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there will be no lies from here on out. The pool of lies is slowly running dry, so soon I will bring out her true nature. Okay. Jetzt kommt's. I wouldn't go so far as to call it an interrogation. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Mr. Knightley. Yes, we had a little chat. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you. She's spilling lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck. You speak with the new prisoners, you say? That's right. I'm glad you understand. Your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding. Well then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. Danke, liebe Richterin. Entkräftung! My Story, Part 2. Ich mag die Musik. Sie hatten ein kleines Gespräch. Okay. Er ist direkt wieder in seine Zelle gegangen. If he really returned to his cell, there's no way he would be a corpse now. I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but I couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley, could I? Dogen was the only one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim. She only hated Dogen. Please add that statement to your testimony. Dogen was the one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim. Ha! Da hast du dich wieder schön verplappert. Frau. Wo war es denn? Hier! Sie haben immer noch Schach gespielt, for fuck's sake! Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look at this. It looks like a record of a chess game. Is there something wrong with it? This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Rowland, you also discovered this note in the very same place. And not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dogen's too, correct? What are you? Don't say that you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. Ha! After all, you would have kept an eye on Dogen's actions down to the smallest details. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dogen that you needed to keep an eye on. The warden was searching for Mr. Dogen's henchman! From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally, since he used his henchmen to threaten harm to her family. Warden Rowland interrogated Dogen to expose them. So, what are you saying? Are you Inspector Dogen's mail? You must have known that he played correspondence chess! Ah! And then Knightley appeared, with a chess memo in hand. We deduced that he and Dogen were connected. You must have arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen who had come to kill you. So, that's why you interrogated Knightley, boy. If the boss won't crack, go after his henchmen. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel. The murder weapon. To Warden Rowland, the chisel was a symbol of Dogen, and that was the final straw. You believed Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen and you killed him! It seems there will be no rebuttal. Judge Courtney, your verdict! Thought it is incredibly unfortunate. There seems to be no room for doubt. I shall announce my verdict for the murder of Horace Knightley. Twice my sacred verdict has been interrupted. Who was that? Okay, sie wird gruselig. Warden Rowland. Oh, how strange. You guys really don't understand anything! It would seem the one who doesn't understand is you. Me? I understand one thing very well. There's a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth! Once she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Pay it no heed. Judge Courtney, your verdict. I'm interested in hearing what the warden has to say. What? I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say. One? Please take a good look at the autopsy report. The autopsy report? The one I brought with me? I heard exactly what you said earlier, Justine, darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? No way! Could that tiny chisel really have made a wound 4 inches deep? Impossible! How could I have made such an error? Oh, forgive me, goddess of law. Well, I believe that overturns your hypothesis. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? What do we do? Oh, it'll be alright, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always. Ganz sicher. Whoa, hey now. He's gone all white. Hey, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing! Make some earth-shattering objection! Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but, without decisive evidence, we're just whipping a dead horse here. Does that mean it's hopeless? The true killer is Warden Roland. If it's not her, then nothing that's happened fits. But the chisel isn't a murder weapon. Are there any other sharp objects here? There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at this present time. We have no choice but to continue this battle in the courtroom.
Objection!
That would just give the killer a chance to destroy evidence. Are you mocking the court? Nee! Aber was Ray sagt, ist korrekt! Frau, denk nach! No, I didn't mean anything like that. You look perplexed, Miles. Thought of anything yet? The chisel is not a murder weapon. In that case, what is? It's no use. We're back where we started. No objections, Prosecutor Edgeworth. By the way, any baseless statements will be punished accordingly. Ganz großes Schweigen. Hui. Ich glaube, das ist ein guter Moment, um nochmal den Part zu beenden. Oh, das ist hart, aber gut. Egal ob positiv oder negativ, Bewertung, gern gesehen. Dort was mal, wir sehen uns das nächste Mal wieder. Sehr geil.